Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of the NCAA Football 14 Coaching Carousel. Last time I posted asking you guys who you wanted me to be, what coach, how you guys would think the series would go. And well, I got a comment on a team that I think is going to be really good to start our career. If you guys missed last episode, make sure you check it out. This is basically a series where we're just the coach, starting out as an offensive coordinator, trying to work our way up to the top Power 5 conference ranks. Just going to see how far we can get. We're going to start obviously really low. Last episode, I mentioned just a 1 or 2 star team that we just start out one full year in the 1 or 2 star program ranks. Obviously going to be a pretty bad team. And going to try to just build them up through, I guess, the offense, because that's all we can control here at the start. But build them up in the first year. Maybe we stay at this school for 2 years, because I do really like to recruit and then kind of see where those recruits end up being like. But obviously in this coaching carousel, that's not the way things are going to probably work until we really find a position that we're comfortable with down the line. I did simulate or play a little bit of an offensive coordinator. I actually started out at Buffalo, and it does seem like you do get some pretty good offers if you have a pretty good offense, because I did exactly that. I think at a head coach job at Stanford, that's something I wouldn't take right away if we do end up getting something like that at the end of this year one, but that is far away. And obviously the first main goal is starting out this first year, trying to really just set the standard of who we are, what we can become, and obviously where we hope to be. So we're going to go Jamal Atwater here. He graduated from Texas Tech, and that's the offense he's going to run as well. I really, really like this offense. I played with it a couple times when I played with Patrick Mahomes back when he was at Texas Tech. I guess in this game there's actually rosters when he was in college, and obviously he's proven to be quite the quarterback. But yep, the air raid offense, but it does have some pretty good run plays too that I like a lot. So I really like this offense. Maybe I'll change it up a little bit as we go on, but if we ever do become a head coach, I'm going to try to run a 3-4 defense and see what that does for me. Never really ran a 3-4, but we're going to try it out. Jamal Atwater here, and he's actually going to head to, you'll see in just a minute. You also see I changed the difficulty, or not the difficulty, the quarter length here from 8 minutes. That's because at Buffalo I had the most pass attempts by over, I was pretty close to 100 as the most pass attempts by the end of the year. And I think that's just kind of the play style that Buffalo kind of runs, because I was just airing it out over and over. There's a bunch of high-scoring games, because I think I end up actually changing that up to at least 7 by the time we play this first game, because I have recorded the first week and the second week and the third week already of the series. So it is a really fun series. But the team we're going to start out being, as I skimmed through here, it was a comment last episode. I saw Ball State, and it's the MAC, but I just had played a whole entire year with Buffalo and into year 2. So that really, that's just chance. I had just chosen them. Hadn't even uploaded the video by the time I had chosen them. And, well, I'd already played in the MAC and played each team multiple times. So this time, the first comment in the last episode, South Alabama is who we're going to be starting with. And if you saw the rating there, as you can see right there, it's a 68 overall offense. And that is going to be tough to work with as somebody that really needs to get off to a hot start to get out of here, at a team that's barely remained in existence. Going to have to really change this culture right away and figure things out offensively in our first 12 games at South Alabama. The wins and losses isn't so much of importance in this first year, which probably shouldn't be saying that as a coach, but nonetheless, we need to just put up some stats and really see where we can go after this year one. Figure things out. What path do you guys want me to take in this series? Would you like to see me just go 1 year at South Alabama, then take a high job at like a Big 10, Big 12 school if we get offered? Or would you like to see me slowly build up? I was kind of thinking maybe I might even go 2 years at South Alabama, and then I might just end up in the American. I got a couple of offers with Buffalo from the American Conference. I feel like that's a pretty good stepping stone right there to be an offensive coordinator in the American, and then see where I can go from there. But I've also thought about being maybe 2 years at South Alabama, then go into like the MAC or Conference USA or another division like that. And then I've also thought about, before I even take a Power 5 or anywhere near like that, maybe go 4 or 5 years deep if we have to limit ourselves to that. But we'll have to see how it goes. All I know is this team is not very high rated, and we have just about one guy that has a high rating on this team, and that was the halfback, if you guys had missed it in the depth chart here. Obviously, defensive depth chart doesn't really matter a whole lot, but if we want to be in these games, not just going through shootouts, the defense is going to have to be good, and that's what I'm hoping. We don't even have a left outside linebacker on this team, which is ridiculous in itself that you don't even have one player at a position. But we have a couple of right outside linebackers, actually multiple, so it's covered enough there. But we're going to have to see what happens with this offense, what happens in this series, and where we can take off with this series, how far we can go if we end up at a Power 5 conference. Our Power 5 conference, though, it could be a defensive coordinator job, and that might get a little bit boring, so you guys have to let me know how you want me to edit up this series. Obviously, right now, everything offense. Simulation, I show you just a little bit. I've already cut down a couple of episodes, so simulation, you barely even see any anyway. But if we do end up getting a defensive coordinator job somewhere down the road, which maybe isn't in the path, but definitely a possibility, you guys have to let me know if you want me to just cut up like 3 or 4 games into one and just kind of move on through that, or how you want me to edit those episodes. But see the schedule here: Kent State, UCLA, Western Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee, Troy, couple of byes, Texas State, Arkansas State, UMass, Louisiana Monroe, Georgia State, and Louisiana to end out the year. So that's how it's going to go. Obviously a tough test in week 2 against UCLA, but join us in week 1, Jamal Atwater coaching Carousel, week 1 against Kent State.